Tusculum Pioneers looking to stay in the top 4 in the South Atlantic Conference last week, finishing 1-1. Hello everyone, I'm Brian Staten. Welcome into Pioneer Basketball with Coach Devan Carter, joined by the coach, Coach Carter. A Pioneer basketball team that opened up with Mars Hill and then take on an Anderson team. So a rough week for the Pioneers in terms of your schedule just because of who you're playing. And it started Wednesday. It could have been a trap game. And you guys, I felt, did a very good job at handling business against a Mars Hill team. That obviously proved to be pretty dangerous later in the week.
Yeah, I really felt like it was really important for us to get off to a good start in that game. I really felt like Mars Hill had been playing better. They've got some kids that can score the basketball, and then they have a player that's statistically one of the top players in the league. So anytime you have a really good player and you play a different style with the zones and stuff that they run, I really felt like if we didn't get off to a good start, that we could find ourselves in a dogfight. So really proud of our kids for getting off to that great start. I thought they did a great job of coming out, pushing tempo early, and that was important for us.
Let's take a look at the highlights. Tusculum versus Mars Hill. Get off to a great start, you did, and then your bench came in. I like what you're doing with this group right here, kind of moving things around. You're not letting really anybody get tired. And Casey Johnson got off to a good start, but you're really forcing a lot of tempo, and then you're using 10 to 11 kids throughout the first quarter.
Yeah, just wanted to get into their bench a little bit and just wanted to push pace as best we could. I really felt like our bench, they come in and give us a different look. And when they're able to lock in the details, then they're really, really valuable for us. I think that, obviously they got the ball moving a lot offensively as well. And they provided us with a good punch offensively. But I thought defensively they did a better job of just contesting shots and finishing with the rebound. And that really helped us get off to a great start. They probably gave us a better start than our first group did, and that was really encouraging to see.
Yeah, I think it was started by Elle Hutchinson, to be perfectly honest. She came in, some foul trouble early in the contest. She comes in, provides a spark, but obviously she knocks down some shots. You're talking about Deja Marshall, and I think, she's dangerous and be a great fit on anybody's team. She kind of got going just to keep Mars Hill hanging around it, but you were just too good around the perimeter, and then you were too good for Jazz Williams inside the paint.
Yeah, Jazz Williams had a big night for us. I mean, she's stepping out, hitting threes. She looked like Dirk Nowitzki out there a little bit. She's getting finishes at the bucket, protecting the rim. That was really good to see out of Jazz, just because the kid is so capable. But then you turn around and you look at Elle, the start that she got us off to.
Yeah.
It's really important for us to play her because that way Mia doesn't have to go 40 minutes a game a night. So Elle being able to push the ball and knock down shots from the outside, it gives us a different look. People try to sag off of Mia. Although she has made 4 threes in her past 2 games. But Elle being able to step in and knock shots like she did right there is a different look for the point guard spot, and you got to guard us differently.
I think it's encouraging that Elle is knocking down those shots as well, because she had been struggling from the perimeter here over the last month or so, but really the last couple of weeks she's played well. Maya Belton knocking down some 3-pointers, and then Aaliyah Miller coming in, just doing what she does, great score for the team.
Yeah, Aaliyah Miller is a kid that can really score the basketball. And she gives us a punch offensively. But you look at Maya Belton, who comes in and knocks down some buckets. That's big for us because Maya can stretch the floor as well. She's been struggling here as of late, but a kid that can no doubt get hot in a second and give you 2-3 threes in a row. So for us moving forward down the stretch, we're going to have everybody to kick in, and especially those outside shooters. We're going to have to knock down shots, and when we do that, it just opens up the game so much for us.
Bench scored 58 points in the game. Now, you played in probably more minutes than even your starting 5, but really in that first quarter, even going back to that, as soon as the second unit came in, there immediately was this lift in momentum, this lift in some intensity. It seemed and Jazz Williams was playing like a different person as well in the game.
Yeah, and you know what? I tell our kids all the time, it's certain things that you can add to a team without scoring. And I thought that second group did a great job of bringing energy. I thought they came in with a little burst of energy that we really needed at the time. And then obviously Jazz, her role varies from night to night. Some nights she's going to be a rebounder. Some nights she's going to be a shot blocker. But the fact that she was able to come in and be a scorer for us was big because we needed it. And, really proud of her and hopefully we can keep it going.
Maya Belton set career highs with 4 assists, 4 block shots. Now, keep in mind, you've got a good scorer in Deja Marshall. Pioneers held her to 9. She was the leading scorer, plus held Mars Hill to just 31% shooting for the game. So it's not like that second unit dropped off any when they were in there playing. I mean, that was as strong a defensive effort that you've had all season long.
Yeah, well, I tell you, I say it all the time, you can't score your way into the lineup. And I think some of our kids know that now, but that's where it all starts for us is defensively. You got to stop people, and you get enough stops and you string together enough stops, you add value to the team, and you put us in a situation to win a ball game. I think that that second group did a great job of communicating, getting those stops that you talked about. Maya out there blocking shots and doing all that other stuff. She's really been good for us, and Maya, she's playing a little bit out of position. Yeah. And I think certain nights the matchups are more favorable for her than others. But no doubt, we've got to find minutes to get for her on the floor because when she comes in and she plays hard and she locks in defensively, she can add value to our team.
Pioneers outscored Mars Hill in the first quarter 29-12, and then third quarter 24-5 to separate themselves for a 91-47 victory for the Pioneers. They get their 18th win, 13th win in the league as well. Then you get the number 1 team in our league, the Anderson Trojans, who I ain't going to say they're leaking a little oil because Wingate is capable of beating anybody.
Yes.
And then when you do what you did to Alexi Molinauer, what they were able to do to her and keep her to 7 points in the contest and attempting just 4 shots in the game, you just basically tip your cap to what Wingate was able to do. That's tough to do against Molinauer and the capability that she has, but you guys were able to do that really on Saturday. You held her in check. She didn't have that huge game, but they got the 3-point win, I think, which is more frustrating. It's as complete a game as you've had down there, and you still walked away with an L.
Yeah, I think she had 6 points, if I'm not mistaken. Wingate, obviously, they took 2 people and double-teamed her the entire game. And I told somebody else, I said, Coach Hancock is a legend for a reason. The fact that she, had enough the bravado and courage to do that was impressive. And they did a great job with it, and obviously got a huge win, with their young team. And so I didn't have enough courage to go and do that. But we put Casey on her, and we really tried to just make every catch difficult, and I thought Casey did a great job. She scored 2 points on Casey. She had 4 on Brianna Dixon, and I thought those 2 kids did a great job of just making every catch contested. And then, I felt like the difference in the ball game for us obviously was just, we lost Baggett a few times for 3-pointers, and once on the inbound, one time we went under a screen, which you can't do against her, and she knocked them all down, and that was a big difference in the game. I felt like, when you go down there, the offensive rebounds that we had, the rebound battle was, I think, 1 or 2. We had more possessions once again. At the end of the day, we had a formula for success, but, it's not Anderson's first time. They won top teams in the country for a reason. And they protected home court, and, we took a tough one.
41-40 was the rebound difference. Anderson with 1 rebound at better. Madison Backett scored a season-high 22. It's also equaling her career best from 3-point territory. She was phenomenal. She didn't force a lot of shots, and I think that's what was more impressive for me. Molinauer was 3 of 10 from the field for those 6 points, and I do think Dixon did a great job coming in because she can match up size-wise, and her athleticism also helps. But Casey Johnson was as good as anybody. An issue, I think, for us is just knocking down shots, 30% from the field. Once again, they're good defense. I don't think Anderson's given enough credit for what they do defensively either. They switch. They're so big. And early in the game, I noticed, especially through the first quarter and the second quarter, and I said it several times, when we got into the lane, it's almost as if we were intimidated because our shots were going to get blocked. We seemed to play just a little bit timid when we got into the paint. We did fix that, but it was very early. I think a little bit of an intimidation factor with Anderson.
Yeah, I think their size causes us to rush a few shots, and I think that, if you boil down to it, I think the game came down to 1-footers. And I say that because we got in the paint, and I think early in the first half, in the first quarter, we had about 3 opportunities for and ones, and we didn't finish. One of them was just point blank range. And, you know, when you're in the paint, you get in the paint against a team like that, you're able to get great shots up. You've got to convert those. And I felt like, you know, although we lost Baggett on a few threes, you know, although we did a great job with Mullenhour, we did a good job rebounding the basketball, I think the game boils down to 1-footers for us.
Yeah.
And you make those 1-footers, it's a totally different ballgame coming down the stretch. You know, but credit to them. I mean, they're big. I was looking at them in warm-ups, and I'm like, good gracious, it's like the LA Sparks out here.
Yeah.
You know, Washington Mystics or something. I mean, they were huge. They do a great job. Coach JB does a great job. And, you know, they're battle-tested. They're tough.
Yeah.
And a lot of teams that we've played, when we've got them in that situation, they fold. And, you know, Anderson is, you know, what they are because they're tough. They guard you, they rebound it, and they force you to make plays, and they do a good job at it.
They did a good job against Mullenhour. Wingate did a good job against Mullenhour. Yes, knocked her just to 7. Tusculum holds Mullenhour to just 6. But in the Wingate game, the supporting staff didn't make shots down the stretch in the fourth quarter like they did against us in the fourth quarter. It wasn't a whole lot of shots, but it was enough, and Baggett obviously had the big shot as well, and defeat the Pioneers 54-51. So the streak will continue for the moment there at Anderson in the Electric City at the Abney Athletic Center against the Pioneers. It's been a long time since they had won there. Looking for that victory, didn't get it this past Saturday. But the conference is so weird. Mars Hill defeats Wingate this past Saturday, and this is what I'm talking about. Capable of beating anybody. Wingate beats number 1 in the league, falls to the last place team in the league this past Saturday. Anybody capable at any time. Speaking of capable, it's a big week for Tusculum. We'll talk about that when we come back after this. This is Pioneer Basketball with Coach Devan Carter.
So much of life these days is rushing around from one place to another. Sometimes you just want to enjoy the journey on the way to the destination. And part of what makes it a little more enjoyable is an appreciation for the folks who help you get there. At Ingalls, we know that the people who send you on your way are the same ones who keep you coming back.
I think you should take it for a spin. Are you serious?
Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
So we welcome you back into Pioneer Basketball with Coach Devan Carter. The Pioneers go 1-1 last week. Need a 2-0 week this week. Got Carson Newman and Coker as the conference has kind of flipped around just a little bit. Carson Newman handled business Saturday. They knocked off Catawba. Anderson takes a 1-game lead for first, tied for second. Catawba and Carson Newman. Tusculum hanging in there at 4th place, 2 games ahead of 5th place Newberry. So with 4 games remaining, Pioneers need to take care of business. It starts Wednesday. Pack the arena night against the rival, Carson Newman.
Yeah, and was up late last night looking at the Eagles, and do a great job of scoring the basketball. They do a great job of scoring the basketball, and they put so much pressure on you as far as just, you know, making you score.
Shots.
They make shots, and everybody can make shots. And so maybe one day when we're not rivals, Mike Mincy will tell me what he's doing offensively to create so much havoc on the offensive end. But they do a great job, and so, you know, obviously, you know, it's a matter of us going and protecting our home court. We were able to go down there and get one in a great game, a stressful game, but just a back and forth affair. And you know, now we've got to protect home court. You know, they're going to come in, and you're going to expect them to knock down shots. You're going to expect them to push pace and everything else, and we got to be able to counter that. We've got to rebound the basketball, and we got to stop their 2 best players. And I tell you, if I knew Braylon Weichel was going to be that good, I would have put a fence around her house and just told her she's got to come here. She can't leave the house. But she's playing well, obviously, and then Mira Sites is probably the most complete player in the league, because you know when she steps on the floor, a double-double is going to occur, and you know she's going to play really hard. So we've got to do, much like we did against Anderson, we've got to contain their best player and then try to force some other people to beat us. You
know, you talk a lot about Alexi Mullenhour, but Kayla Marisites, if she's not number 2 in our league as far as player of the year candidate, then I'm not sure who would deserve that outside of a Mia Long. Catawba has a pretty good player as well. I mean, there's a reason that the top 4 are the top 4 with the personnel that they have. So that's Wednesday. It's Pack the Arena night. Yeah, Kayla Marisites, Kelsey Marisites, the twins from Elizabethton will be here. Greene County's favorite daughter and Braylon Weichel will be here basically for the most part. So we're anticipating a big crowd already because of the visitors who will be here, so we hope that you'll come support the Pioneers as well as the Pioneers take on the Carson Newman Eagles Wednesday. Pack the arena. Once again, Greenville City, Greene County school students admitted absolutely free. We're giving away stuff. We're going to support the Make-A-Wish Foundation, all in the process of having this big night on Wednesday night. Then Coker and the most gifted, maybe, athletic team in our league that is going to come in, and they're very capable any single night to knock off anybody. And Saturday for senior night will be a big day for us.
Big day. Those kids over at Coker just, I'm in awe of their talent. You look at Hauser, the week she had last week, big week. Kid can play. You look at Richardson, who's dunking the basketball like they're UT before the game. And just a real talented roster. And they have athleticism, they have size. Emily Davis and Haley Kropp are back in her lineup for shooting. And so, they go and beat a gritty LR team the other day, hold them to like 30% shooting or something like that. And so, our work's going to be cut out for us. And I tell people, you look at the home stretch we have here. You got 2 at home, you got 2 away. And all of them are games that, that the opponent can come in and beat you. And so we've got to be on our P's and Q's. We've got to lock in detail. We've got to finish this stretch. And at the end of the day, it's about making the program better. I mean, I think that, right now, you look at last year, we get to 20 wins, but we didn't close the season the way we should. And now we're in that situation again. So we're going to see if we're better, if we've grown. 4 games left, you got 18 wins, you look at 22, you got the regional rankings coming out, everything matters coming down the stretch. And so we've got to do our due diligence and leave no doubt. It's one thing to win a game and based off talent, but I want to make sure we win these games with max effort. And coming down the stretch is no excuse not to have max effort and not to, come in and compete. If we compete, we're going to give ourselves a chance in every last single one of them.
It's a spectacle. Saturday, come watch Coker's Hope Richardson at the end of their warm-ups just before the starting lineups, and now she'll dunk the basketball.
Yeah.
It's no joke. So just come watch that. If you come watch anything, just come watch that right here on Saturday. So big week. Carson Newman and Tusculum Wednesday for Pack the Arena night. Tusculum and Coker for senior night. Final regular season home game for the Pioneers this coming Saturday, and then still we'll have a week left. So the Pioneers looking to stay in the top 4. Come join us on Wednesday on the Pioneer Sports Network. The women will tip it off at 5:30 and the men's game at 2 follow. Thanks to everybody behind the scenes here at the Pioneer Sports Network. For Pioneer coach Devan Carter, I'm Brian Staten. And until next week, go Pioneers.